we're going to be making stylized fern leaves, which look similar to these ones, or perhaps slightly different, however you are going to decide to make them. So the idea is that it's quite a long frond of stylized fern with lots of small leaves, which you can shape either with a pair of tweezers or with flower shaping tools if you have them. I'll show both methods as always. So let's see what we will need for making this type of decorative foliage for our arrangement. You will need some denim, of course. This time I'm going to be using these two types of denim. Both are lighter weight, so they are about 4 ounces in weight, so perhaps shirt weight, let's say, so not as heavy as jeans, but if you want, you can choose a slightly thicker denim as well. That's up to you. The principle is going to be exactly the same. I'm using 2 shades of denim here, like a medium wash and a darker wash. You can use the same colors or pick different colors. It's all up to you. Here there is an option of having 2 different colors because we're gluing 2 layers of denim together. So if you want to play on a contrast, you can do it here. Also, we will need some wires. Choose a couple of thicker wires, like 20 or 22, and perhaps thinner wires to reinforce those. We need quite a long wire because our frond is going to be a long one. There is an option to make it more narrow, or you can make it like narrow going into wider and then back into narrow, so it's up to you. It's going to be free cut, of free cutting out of your fabric, so however you see you want to have it in your arrangement, or you can have several slightly different ones, which is going to probably be more the case because when you do it freehand, they're not going to be all looking the same. Also, you'll need some lightweight fabric or paper ribbon to put the wires together to make a uniform stem. We can cover the end of the stem with a bit of denim as well here to look nice and neat. And if you wish to shape it with tweezers, you'll have some tweezers, or perhaps with flower shaping tools we can use either a knife shaped tool or an extra narrow foot like this, so either tool can add a bit more of 3D to your leaf or to your stylized fern frond. So let's start by cutting out a shape that is going to be eventually our frond. So if I take my fabrics, keep them together, you can fold your fabrics. I've already done it for the previous one. So if I fold them on the diagonal, for example, so this gives me a diagonal line here, which I'm going to keep in mind when cutting out my shape. If you need to draw something, use a light pen. So for example, I want quite a long one. I'm going to go from the top, kind of like an oval shape, like this. So an elongated leaf shape, which I'm going to break up into smaller side leaflets. So if I'm going to cut this out, this is quite a long one. You can choose to have more narrow ones, more or shorter ones. That's up to you. Right. So this is my leaf. Now I have the length of the leaf, so I need to come up with the relevant stem. So you can see it's quite long, so I will need several wires to build a long enough stem. You can combine thicker ones with slightly thinner ones. This one I'm going to do the stem within the leaf, but if you want, you can add an extra long wire at the top and then curl it up like a frond, like it looks in nature. So see how you want to do it, or do several different options in your arrangement. So once we've got enough wires, we can start building a solid stem for this fern frond. So just take either some paper ribbon or very thin fabric, what you have to basically bind these wires together into one solid stem. It can start with just 1 or 2 wires, and then as the longer it goes, the thicker it becomes. The thickest point should be towards the bottom, where it has a stem, so it can be stable in the arrangement. I have quite a long wire here, so I'll just show the principle, but you probably already know it by now. So just going along, adding more wires. This is the first layer of paper, so it's not going to be very even at first, but I'm going to add a couple more layers of paper and fabric to it to make it more solid. Once you've got to the right length, you can bend your leftover wires up and tape it all together, so your base, the base of your fern, is thicker than the top, providing a good stable stem for when it goes into the arrangement. So I've just done a thin coating of paper here, but I will be adding some more coating with fabric too. You can add white fabric, or you can add the dyed fabric in blue or navy blue voile. It's up to you. Essentially it doesn't matter, because the denim fabrics I'm using for the leaf is not see-through, or they're not see-through, so it won't matter if the stem is white. But if you want, you can use navy colored or denim colored fabrics for the stem. I've covered my stem with several layers of paper and a layer of thin fabric, so it's ready to be used. But before I start adding it to or gluing it to my leaf, I should also consider covering the lower part of it with denim fabric of either color. I've chosen the darker denim here. So measure how much of this stem is going to go into the actual frond, and the rest should be nicely finished with the denim fabric. This is what is going to be seen outside of the frond and be a stem of your frond. You already know how to do it, how to cover your stems with denim. We've done it many times with the roses, so if you forgot, please go back and watch the previous lessons. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do it, and then we can get ahead with making the stylized fern frond further. So I've covered the base of the stem in denim, and now it's time to glue it inside the 2 layers of fabric, and glue those layers of fabric between them. To do that, first we're going to glue the stem to one layer of fabric to make it easier. If you want, you can curve the stem nicely, following the template of your frond. See if it needs slightly curving. Then apply glue onto the underside quite generously. And we can attach it to the denim. And just make sure that the stem that is sticking out is all covered nicely. with fabric. Press. The next step is to glue this second layer of fabric on top of the first one, jamming the wire inside basically. Here you have to act quickly. It's a very large surface and we'll need to cover it with glue as quick as we can before the first layer of glue or first area covered with glue starts drying out. So just cover it in glue as quickly as you can, and then we're going to attach the two pieces of fabric together. Once you have covered one layer of fabric with glue, quickly attach it to the one with the wire before the glue dries out. I usually use a dry cloth for this. Press along the stem. You can use tweezers here. So here is your shape ready. Now what you can do is you can, I don't know, starting from the either base or top, doesn't matter here. You can make cuts at an angle towards the central wire. And then these cuts are going to trim further to turn them into leaflets, or like small side leaves on the fern frond. Again, try to act relatively quickly, because if you want to shape, we don't want everything to dry up too quickly. It would be good if the leaf is still moist by the time we're ready to shape. Okay, so these are rough outlines of our leaves, so now we can go ahead and trim them out, cutting off extra fabric so they're a bit more narrow and a bit more pointy. Be careful, try not to cut too close to the wire so you don't expose it. You can do serrations along the edges of the leaves. I'm not gonna try and do that here. Quite a lot to do as it is. So in this way, do both sides. I'm just showing part of it. And once we've trimmed, we can go ahead and give it a bit of a shaping. to these side leaves. I have finished cutting out my side leaves, so this is how my front is looking right now. You can actually, if you want, leave it like this without adding any extra shaping, but I'm going to show you a couple of ideas on how you can add some more shaping to it. So if you do not have any tools, just use a pair of tweezers. First of all, again, we can kind of highlight the central wire. That already makes the side leaves lift up quite a bit. You can do it from one side or both sides. Then also what you can do is you can shape each leaflet by, again, scoring lines with the tips like this, so you can see that adds extra shaping. Try to do it whilst the leaf is still moist, so not completely dry. You can do it from all the side leaves from one side or from the other side, or mix it however you want to do it. So also you can use, you know, your hands, fingers, twist them in different ways. That will also help add some three-dimensional shaping to your stylized ferns. I'm also going to do it with a heated tool because I have it. So if I warm it up, I'm going to use this knife tool. You can also use something like this, something narrow which can score lines basically. So again, we can start by highlighting the wire. This is a very long leaf, so I have to do it in sections. And then, similar to what I've shown with tweezers, we can do with the tools. So basically scoring lines in the middle of each side leaf. Just the tool, the heated tool, makes them a bit more prominent and more visible. Just a little bit of extra shaping. We have already a lot going on in the bouquet, in the arrangement, so I'm not looking to do some fine shaping here in particular, just add a bit more interest to the leaves. The tip you can curl up if you want. And in a similar way, the other side can also be done. Last but not least, what you can do is to curve up your leaf and see how you want to see it, to have it in your arrangement. Perhaps bend it in an interesting shape, and it should be ready to go. You can also additionally put wires in the side leaflets if you want. It's quite a lot of extra work. In this particular design, I don't think it's necessary, but perhaps if you want to do a frond for something else, you might consider doing that as well. So here I have two, they're a bit different, but these are going to go into my arrangements with roses, and they can be nicely added to be cascading from the vase at the bottom of the arrangement, or can be put up as well. So these are the stylized fern fronds for your arrangement.